So in the midst of Donald Trump picking fights with NFL stars, and in the midst of him escalating with North Korea again, he decided to do something that's going to be even more unpopular. I should be clear, that's going to add to his unpopularity. He released a new updated travel ban 3.0. Thanks, Don. I mean, there's so many serious issues that have to be addressed. He's like, yeah, anyway, here's a new list of people I don't want to let in the country. Wow, okay, so let me give you the details on this. This is the restrictions by country according to CNN. North Korea and Syria, entry as immigrants and non-immigrants suspended. So banning all people entering the U.S. from North Korea and Syria. Let me just pause there real quick. Okay, there's no consensus on this, and it drives me crazy. Like, for example, it used to be the case that when the U.S., I mean, we still do to a large extent, but when we were, big time, like, Cuba's the worst people ever, when we were in that mode, the argument from the right was, which is why we're going to let anybody who gets from Cuba to the U.S., if they walk on U.S. soil, automatically citizens. That was the rule. That was the rule. If you can get from Cuba to the U.S., you escaped, you're automatically a U.S. citizen. Because our argument was, hey, they're so bad and we care about, these people so much. It was fake. It was really just an anti-Cuba mentality that led them to say that. But the conclusion was, we're just going to give automatic citizenship to you. Trump is doing the opposite. So in other words, North Korea is so bad and so horrendous. If you're going to use the same logic that they used to use, you would say, therefore, anybody that comes from North Korea to here, automatic citizen. But no, he does the opposite. That's why we're going to not let anybody in. What are you afraid of? What do you think's going to happen? A North Korean suicide bomber? What do you think's going to happen? There's going to be somebody who's one of Kim Jong-un's top officials who's going to somehow sneak into the U.S. and detonate a nuclear device? The fuck is wrong with you, man? What is this? This is a guy who's flailing and has no core values and principles. He doesn't know what to do. Oh, maybe they'll like this. This will be tremendous. And then Syria also, wouldn't you be of the opinion that, oh my God, there's so many victims there and there's so much horrendous stuff happening there that obviously if you're a woman or a child or something and you get out of there, well, yeah, we're going to help you out. No, he does the opposite. Bomb the country, destroy the country, and, oh yeah, when you try to escape it, no, I'm going to say you're not allowed in. Wow. All right, next we have Chad, Yemen, and Libya. Entry as immigrants and non-immigrants on some business and tourist visas suspended. I love the gratuitous adding of Chad to the list. As if that's not totally asinine. All right, next, Somalia. Entry as immigrants suspended and non-immigrants traveling to the United States to face enhanced screening and vetting requirements. Iran, entry as immigrants and non-immigrants suspended. Wow. Except under valid student and exchange visitor visas with enhanced screening and vetting requirements. Venezuela, entry of certain Venezuelan government officials and their immediate family members as non-immigrants on some business and tourist visas suspended. Okay, so Venezuela is the one where, at least on that one, they tried to limit it to just the government officials who, we view them as our enemies, so that's what we're going to ban them. But all the others are like, just fucking, where's my hatchet? Let me use a hatchet here when, to steal from Obama's old phrase, we should be using a scalpel. I'm telling you, man, this is just what an unserious person does. I love, there's such a prominent feature of people on the far right where for some reason, they can't help but any problem we have, they always revert back to, well, on some level, it's got to be the fault of immigrants or foreigners, right? That's always what it comes back to. I love how there was, what the fuck is the guy's name? Matthew Heimbach, one of these alt-right, far-right, leaders who was at those rallies recently. There was a bunch of KKK people and neo-Nazi people. And there's an amazing clip of him talking about his philosophy. And what he says is, Donald Trump is sold out. Donald Trump is now representing Wall Street and Goldman Sachs. Donald Trump and his administration are all puppets of the neocons and the generals in the deep state. They want to do more war. They want to outsource more jobs. This is all horrendous stuff. This is all bad. So to this point, you're going, wow, that's actually making sense, right? Wait for it. Then he goes, which is why we need to set up a white ethno-state. What? So, in other words, he identifies the problems, and the problems, even according to him, it's Donald Trump and all these other white guys in his administration, overwhelmingly white administration, that are causing all these problems and are totally corrupt. Which is why we need to kick out all the black people and brown people. But you just explained yourself what the problem was, and the overwhelming majority, 99% of the people in the crowd that you're talking about that you think is causing our problems are white. So how is the conclusion kick out the minorities from that? How is the conclusion a white ethno-state would fix anything? You still have all the corruption, you still have the military-industrial complex, you would just have no black and brown people as you have all that stuff. But they can't help themselves. That's just the go-to thing on the right where scapegoating 101. Problems can't be because of us, because we're so pure, we're a perfect race. The others are just inferior breeds of human. So if you get rid of them, everything will somehow magically work out. Absolutely ridiculous, man. What a dumb, dumb idea. And that's the logic that goes into this. I'm not accusing Trump of being as extreme on these issues as Matthew Heimbach, because he's not, and very few people are. But deep down, this is the logic of Jeff Sessions types of people, of Trump's administration, when they think in the middle of all these crises going on all around the world, well, that's the answer. The answer is you just, throw some more people on that banned list and everything will be better. Deeply unserious.